Hello students, Lego Dirk is here to help us learn a little bit about bar graphs this week. Yes, Mr. Rigo, that's what I'm here to do. Bar graphs are my favorite kind of graph, because they're made of bars. Alright, okay. Let's see about bar graphs, Lego Dirk. Yes, I think I just said something like that. Okay, alright, we're having some difficulties these days. Anyway, okay, so let's look at the bar graph, Lego Dirk. Yes, I think I said that already. Am I gonna have to start this video again? No, just continue with it. Alright, I will do. Okay, so we're gonna look at this bar graph. And if you all remember, me from class, you probably remember that the most important thing to do when you look at the bar graph is to look at the scale, which is on the side of the bar graph, and then label the totals for each bar. Alright, that's what you want to start off doing. Of course, you want to read the question, but even before I read this question, I know I'm going to have to do that, so I want to get that done right now. And I see that this is going by twos. It goes from 0 to 2, 4, 6, 8. And so I know this goes by twos, and this one is halfway between the 6 and the 8. So I'm going to label for cardinal, I'm going to label this bar as 7, because there's 7 there. And for the wren, it goes up to 12. And I label my bar. It's a good idea to label your bars, so once those numbers are there, you don't have to keep on going back across and trying to figure out what the total is again and again, because then you can make a mistake. So you just check, double check, label. This one is between 4 and 6 for the sparrow, which would be 5, right? And I'll label that. And again, I can check, oh yeah, if you want, you can, make a little line going across and just oh yep, that works out. It would be 5 right in the middle. But be careful when you do, make a line across, because not all bar graphs have these lines going across like this. Make sure your line isn't, going whoop or up, because then you're going to trick yourself into thinking that the total is something different. So, this one's easy because it does have the lines going across, but they won't always be like this, so be careful about that. And the last one is on the line with 8, so that's really easy. Alright, so now that I have my totals, it's going to be really easy to answer any questions about this. Okay, the question is, Roxanne made this bar graph to show the number of birds that she saw at her bird feeder. How many more? How many more wrens than sparrows did Roxanne see? So we are looking at wrens versus sparrows. Okay, we don't care about cardinals or robins for this particular question. And it's a how many more question. So what do you know you need to find, Lego Dirk? I need to find the difference. And how do you find the difference, Lego Dirk? You gotta subtract to find the difference, Mr. Rigo. Everybody knows that. Okay, alright. Let's calm down now. So, start off with your answer statement. How many more wrens than sparrows did Roxanne see? Well, she saw blank more wrens than sparrows. Okay? And just like Lego Dirk said, you subtract to find the difference to figure out how many more. Well, 12 wrens, 5 sparrows. We want to know what's the difference between here and here, so you subtract to find the difference, right? And if you'd like, you can make a tape diagram. 12 wrens, alright, W for wrens, and 5 sparrows, and that's your difference, right? So 12 minus 5 tells you your difference. You can kind of see here, this is almost like a tape diagram. It's just vertical, right? Where this would be your total, and here's your difference. 12 minus 5 equals 7. So she saw 7 more wrens than sparrows. Right? And you can check by adding 7 plus 5, and you will get that 12. Alright. Good job, Mr. Rigo. You know how to subtract. Alright, Lego Derek, I am pretty old, so, should be able to subtract by now. How many fewer sparrows than robins did Roxanne see? Alright, here's the next question. How many more? You find the difference. How many fewer? You'll find in the difference. That's right. How many more? How much more? How many fewer? How much less? All those types of questions, you are comparing two things, you're finding the difference. This time, how many fewer sparrows than robins? So you're looking at sparrows and robins, and this is a how many fewer question, so you know there are fewer sparrows than robins. This is going to be the smaller number, but you're still going to subtract to find the difference. And you start off with your answer statement again. So she saw blank fewer sparrows than robins. And so if you did make the mistake of adding these numbers instead of subtracting to find the difference, then you'd realize wow, that doesn't make any sense. If I did 8 plus 5, I would end up with 13. And how could she see 13 fewer sparrows than robins? That just doesn't make sense, right? It would be a negative number of sparrows. Okay? So once you plug it back into your answer statement, ask yourself that question. Does this make sense? Yes, Mr. Rigo, ask yourself that question. Okay, Lego Derek, take it easy. So again, finding the difference between robins and sparrows. So it's just 8 minus 5 is 3. Easy stuff. So she saw 3 fewer sparrows than robins. Simple. And again, you could make a tape diagram similar to this one to show how to do this. Alright. Roxanne saw 4 more of this kind of bird than robins. Which kind of bird is this? So 4 more, and we want to know which kind of bird is this. Which kind of bird has 4 more than the robins? Okay, well, 4 more than the robins. So blank bird, we want the name of a bird here. So answer statement, blank bird has 4 more than the robins. Well, looks like we should look at the robins total. The robins total is 8. Well, what's 4 more than 8? 4 more than 8 would be 4 plus 8, which would equal 12. Well, which one has a total of 12? Do you see it? I see it. It's this one right here. I'm touching it with my hand stump. Yes, that's correct. It is the wren. Has 12. Lego Dirk, very good. Okay. How many birds did Roxanne see at the feeder that were not cardinals? I don't understand, Mr. Rigo. What are we doing for that one? Well, how many birds did Roxanne see at the feeder that were not cardinals? So we are not interested in cardinals. We want to know how many birds she saw that are not cardinals. Oh, so I guess we should add up the totals of all the other birds. That is correct, Lego Dirk. So we want to know the total number of birds she saw that were not cardinals. So you'd add up the totals for this one. This one is not a how many more, how many fewer type question. This one we're not finding a difference. We are finding the total that are not cardinals. So we have to add up the numbers for the wren, the sparrow, and the robin. So blank birds were not cardinals. And so you're adding up 12 plus 5 plus 8. What numbers do you think we should add together first, Lego Derek? Well, I'd add 12 and 8 because that makes 20. And I can see that 2 and 8 go together to make a 10. So 12 and 8 go together to make a 20. And then it's going to be really easy to add the 20 and the 5. That's correct, Lego Derek. So 12 and 8 make 20. And now you can just add the 5 to that. and you'll get a total of 25 birds that were not cardinals. Thank you, Lego Dirk.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Rigo. That was a good job.
All right, let's not, over-congratulate ourselves. All right, let's move down. Let's do one more problem. So that one was a vertical bar graph, right? The bars go up and down. This is a vertical bar graph. Down here, we're going to do a couple more questions, and this one is a horizontal bar graph.
Horizontal goes from side to side.
Yes, Lego Derek, that's right. Okay, so again, first step, you want to look at your scale. This one is not going by 2s like the last one. This one is jumping by 4s. So think about that. If this one's going by 4s, halfway would be what? 2. That's correct. So in between here you'd have a 2, you'd have a 6, and so on. So be mindful that it's not just like 0, 1, 4, right? You have to really pay attention to that scale and realize that halfway is going to be 2, like an increment of 2 would be halfway. So it'd be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. Alright, so now we've looked at our scale. We've realized that half of one of these increments is 2. Then it's going to be easy to label our totals. So let's do it. Well, paper mache. This is about art fair projects. Paper mache has 12. Great. Mobiles are 8. Okay, so far it's really easy because they're just on the line, and we're fortunate because these have lines here, which makes it simple. Sculpture, this one's not on the line, it's 24, and then it's halfway. So again, it's a scale of 4, so halfway is going to be 2 more than 24, so this would be 26, and then painting is 16. Alright, so now that we have our totals, we're ready to answer a question. And the question says, how many more? How many more? How many more? We know this means we are finding a difference. Okay, where are you? There you go. And what do you got to do to find the difference?
Subtract.
Okay, how many more students would have to make mobiles so that the number of mobiles equals the number of sculptures? So we want the number of mobiles to equal the number of sculptures. So how many more students need to make mobiles for it to equal the number of sculptures? So, answer statement, blank more students need to make mobiles to equal, and I can write the number of sculptures, or I can write to equal 26. Right? But I'm going to just keep with the same words, right? The number of sculptures. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that 26 over here. Because I want to know that this has got to equal 26. And already, as Lego Dirk explained, we are finding the difference again. We want to know how many more need to make those mobiles to get to this 26. So basically, you're looking for what would it be to make this, how many more would it take to make this bar reach out all the way to there? Okay, so 26 minus 8 will give us this difference. 26 minus 8. 6 minus 8. Can't do it.
You gotta regroup.
So you borrow from the tens place. Make this a 1, make this a 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. 1 minus nothing is 1. So it would take 18 more students would need to make mobiles. So you need 18 more mobiles in order to have the same number of mobiles as sculptures. Alright, y'all. Right now, number 6 is sort of a different sort of question. You're just listing the art projects in order from least number, which is the smallest number, to the greatest number of students. I'll let you do that all by yourself. Enjoy!
Take care, you guys. I hope you like these bar graphs.
Alright, bye-bye.